It may sound like an exaggeration, but today you're going to find out that with a glass container you have at home, maybe one you were about to throw away, you can make a candle that lights up, decorates, and even repels mosquitoes, gnats, black flies, and even houseflies from your home. Just from that, you already know this isn't an ordinary candle. It doesn't melt like regular candles, it doesn't burn out quickly, and the most interesting part, its base is water. But there's a fascinating hidden detail in how this candle is assembled. And that's precisely what keeps the flame burning for a very, very long time, which is why this special candle is considered an infinite candle. Once you understand this, it will be very easy for you to make it at home. First, you'll need a glass container. It has to be glass, okay? And now I'm going to use these decorative stones here. You can use whatever you prefer instead. It could be artificial flowers, artificial leaves, shells, or even some pearls. I'm going to use what I already have at home, which are these little stones. And the really cool thing is to assemble it in a glass and transparent container, yeah? Because the visual effect is much more beautiful when you use something clear, since it will look really nice inside, you see? We're going to start by making a small even layer with these decorative stones here. It's very important that when you use these stones, you wash them thoroughly to prevent the color from coming off into the clean water that we're going to use in our container. What you absolutely can't use for decoration are organic things such as real leaves or fresh flowers that aren't artificial but are natural. They can rot inside here, and that won't be good because this is a very long-lasting candle. Now we're going to the second step. Look how it turned out with our little stones. Now you're going to level your container and add some water. It's important that the water is very clean, okay? You're going to fill up slightly more than half the jar with fresh water. Take a look at how our container will look after you add the water. See? It's just a little above halfway. Also, the water always needs to be above the level of the stones, because if any part is left out, it will later interfere with the separation of the water and the oil that we're going to add here in a moment. And this separation is exactly what makes the candle work properly. And this is the exact point in time when things get truly fascinating, because now our creative concept stops being just decorative and becomes functional, actually turning into an infinite candle. You're going to pour the oil in very slowly. You can use canola oil, sunflower oil, or extra virgin olive oil, or even any other type of common vegetable oil you might already have at home. Preferably use the cheapest one you can find, okay? The oil will act as the fuel source for the flame of our candle. And here is the visual secret of this candle, because the oil naturally floats on top of the water. The water stays at the bottom and the oil stays on top. And that's exactly what creates the effect of an infinite and very decorative candle. And now to make your home environment a more pleasant space with a really wonderful scent, and especially to effectively repel all sorts of insects, to keep away mosquitoes, gnats, and even those pesky flies. What you should do is go ahead and look for some citronella essence and add a few drops just like this, right on top, a little spray, or if yours happens to be in drops, 2 or 3 drops will be sufficient. And this, besides scenting the environment, will make all the flying insects leave that area. Now we're getting to the part that will really determine whether this candle will work or not. We're moving on to the wick part. First, we're going to take a plastic bottle. It can be a bottle like this one, for example, and I'm going to carefully cut off the bottom part. Okay, everyone? You're going to take a knife and carefully cut this bottom part off the plastic bottle. After you remove this bottom part from the plastic bottle, you'll do some finishing work. With the help of scissors, if there's any little edge left like this, just trim it off. This finishing touch will give a nice look to all our work with the little candle. Look how nice it turned out. Now we're going to make a little hole right in the middle. And to make this small little hole in the center, you can use whatever tools you have at home. Here I'm going to use a hot iron, but if you don't have a hot iron like a soldering iron, you can also use a nail heated over a flame, which will work exactly the same way. Basically, it's a little hole right in the middle that we're going to make to thread the wick we'll be using. Take a look at how it's gonna look. After you have prepared the wick holder, then you will get the actual wick ready. You can use a piece of paper, a paper towel, or even a small piece of fabric, just like I am doing right here. Basically, you're going to take this fabric and roll it up really tightly like this. It needs to be a little narrow and firm because this is exactly what's going to be threaded through the little hole we made here in the wick holder. Then you just carefully put it through the hole and pull it. It needs to fit really snugly like this. And now you have your wick holder and wick completely ready to go. Now the bottom part of this wick needs to be carefully trimmed down just a little bit. so that it is properly adjusted to touch only the oil and not the water. Otherwise, everything will go wrong. So notice that now, when I put this wick here, the bottom part of the wick will be touching only the oil, and the top part is where we're going to light it up. But before that, we're going to lightly moisten this top part here with oil, and then we can already place our wick holder directly into our candle wax. Wait for just a few minutes. In just a short while, you will see that the oil will start to rise up the wick by capillary action. When this wick is completely soaked, that's the moment to light the candle. And this is when the magic happens. We're going to light it and you'll see it working. But before we get into that, I'd love for you to comment below and tell us where you're watching us from, your city, your state, or your region, so we can see just how far our tips are reaching. Now light the wick right here, and that is it. Once it catches light, it will start to slowly draw up the oil from down below. This process will ensure that our homemade candle, even when it's placed outside with the wind blowing, won't go out at all. If you use this indoors, the result is even better. And this is the result, folks. This is a beautiful, decorative, and economical candle that repels insects like mosquitoes, flies, gnats, and even midges. Because what fuels the flame is the oil. So as long as there is oil available, it keeps working perfectly for you. Do you like simple, beautiful, and practical ideas? Here on the channel, I share free content every day, but of course, members get access to more in-depth content, exclusive ideas, and materials that help you go beyond what you already see for free here on the channel. I also want you to leave your rating from 0 to 10 down below for today's video. From 0 to 10, what score would you give? Look, pay close attention. Don't leave this video before you watch this one that I'm going to link right here on the side. This video has helped thousands of people, and it will help you too. Make sure you're subscribed, that you have the notification bell turned on for our channel, and most importantly, share this tip with whoever came to your mind right now, because I'm sure this will help a lot of people. A big kiss to your heart. See you in the next video right here in the corner. Bye-bye.